Fashion is about the present, but every present moment is a gamble. Paris, October. The most watched city in the world. Every season, designers descend on this stage to prove not just their creativity, but their relevance. This year, though, the stakes feel different. Because in early October, at the Paris Fashion Week, all eyes won't just be on the clothes. They'll be on a gamble. Two houses, two very different strategies. Chanel, the ultimate fashion leader, betting on continuity, tradition, and global dominance. Matthieu Blazy, the quiet craftsman now at Chanel's helm, gambling that in a world of viral fashion, authenticity and craft can still win. And the verdict, it will be decided in Paris. The house that bet on a legacy. Chanel is not just a brand, it's an empire. Worth over $17 billion annually, it's one of the few luxury houses that doesn't answer to a conglomerate like LVMH or Kering. Chanel is privately held, family-owned, and obsessively protective of its independence. For decades, the late Karl Lagerfeld was its driving force. He didn't just design clothes, he turned Chanel into a cultural machine. The shows were events. Supermarkets, rockets, beaches built inside the Grand Palais. He knew that fashion was theater, and Chanel was the biggest stage of all. But Lagerfeld's death in 2019 left a question that haunted the industry. Who could possibly replace him? Chanel first answered with Virginie Viard, Karl's right hand for more than 30 years. A safe choice, a loyal insider, continuity over disruption. At first, the decision made sense. Chanel wasn't just selling tweed suits, it was selling stability, heritage, a dream of permanence. But the cracks quickly showed. Critics called Viard's collections too quiet, too safe, even forgettable. And in a fashion ecosystem dominated by spectacle, Demna at Balenciaga, Pierpaolo at Valentino, Daniel Lee at Burberry, Chanel suddenly felt flat. Yet Chanel gambled that quiet luxury and consistency would outlast hype, that people would always want the Chanel suit, the quilted bag, the double C logo, no matter how noisy the rest of fashion got. But the gamble was bigger than that. Would Chanel double down on heritage or pivot towards something bolder? So here's the question. Was Chanel's strength its stability or its biggest weakness? The quiet radical, enter of Matthieu Blazy. Born in Paris in 1984, Blazy studied at La Cambre in Brussels. His career path was unusual, not marked by celebrity, but by craftsmanship. He cut his teeth at Raf Simons' Maison Margiela and Celine under Phoebe Philo. He learned not just how to design, but how to make. When he took over Bottega Veneta in 2021, the brand was already in transition. Daniel Lee had given it a cult following, but also a reputation for fast hype. Green lighting, viral pouches, Instagram buzz. Lee's sudden exit shocked the industry. Blazy's approach was the opposite of hype. His debut collection didn't feature gimmicks or logos. Instead, it stunned critics with its leather jeans, trousers cut from butter-soft leather, hand-dyed and treated to look like denim. It was a revelation. The most ordinary item transformed into extraordinary luxury. That one piece defined his philosophy. Fashion not as spectacle, but as craft disguised as simplicity. As he told Savoir Flair once, the idea is not just trompe-l'oeil. It goes further. It's about pushing a kind of technology of savoir-faire. And in another interview, Blazy explained, "For me, it's always about character. Different characters in different clothes. That's how you connect." Since then, Blazy expanded that language at Bottega. Fluid tailoring, hand-woven intrecciato bags, garments that looked casual, but were painstakingly complex. Where others screamed, he whispered. But the industry listened. By December 2024, Chanel made the bold move. Blazy was named creative director of the house. Virginie Viard stepped aside, and Blazy inherited the biggest stage in fashion. In an era when fashion is louder, faster, and more digital than ever, could the quietest designer in Paris Be the one who actually wins? The collision course. Now comes the moment of truth. Paris Fashion Week, October 2025. Chanel under Blazy. Two visions of luxury have merged into one gamble. For Chanel, this show is more than another collection. It's the debut of a new era. Blazy doesn't need spectacle. His gamble is that craft itself can go viral. That leather jeans, hand-woven coats, and the artistry of making will resonate more than the cheapest TikTok stunt. As Blazy told Vogue, everything was a possibility. You could think anything. That's what excited me. That even the simplest piece could feel new again. And here's why this season matters. Luxury is in flux. Sales are slowing in China. Millennials and Gen Z are more skeptical of logos and status symbols. The very foundations of fashion's old guard, exclusivity, heritage, tradition, are being challenged by new consumer values, authenticity, sustainability, craft. Blazy now has to reconcile Chanel's heritage with the cultural shift he represents. And here's the twist. If Blazy triumphs, he won't just redefine Chanel. He could redefine luxury itself. The gamble's behind the glamour. Fashion shows are theater, but behind the theater, they're also business bets. For Chanel, the gamble is simple. Protect the dream, but modernize it. Keep the codes intact while letting Blazy's craft re-energize them. It's a strategy that must work for a century-old empire under pressure. For Blazy, the gamble is harder. Prove that pure design can survive in a viral age. Prove that what's real, handcraft, materiality, time, can still cut through noise. His success would mean a return to fashion's roots. Not hype, not logos, but clothes that endure. Both gambles converge in Paris, and both could reshape the industry. Verdict awaits. As the lights go up on the runways of Paris, one truth remains. Fashion isn't just about clothes. It's about what those clothes say about us, our values, our culture. Karl Lagerfeld once turned Chanel into the greatest spectacle in fashion. Virginie Viard kept it alive, quietly, respectfully. Now Matthieu Blazy must carry it forward, with a vision rooted in craft, authenticity, and character. But will that be enough in 2025? In the end, Chanel and Blazy are gambling on the same thing, that their vision of fashion is the one the world wants, and the world will answer in Paris. So let me leave you with this. If Chanel doubles down on stability, does that make it untouchable? If Blazy wins by staying true to craft, does that make him the future of fashion? And most importantly, when the curtain falls on Paris Fashion Week, will we remember the clothes or the gamble? Tell me what you think in the comments.